Hello and welcome! My name is Luigi from BlueStacks team, and today we are gonna talk about which nation and which hero you should pick for Rise of Civilization, so stay tuned!
Here our people stand, and the destiny of civilization lies in your hands. Rise of Civilization.
So basically when you start the game, you can pick one nation and one hero that comes along with it. So which hero should you choose? And what kind of partner should be with him? That's a very complicated question, and it really comes to personal preference. But in this video, I'm gonna give you some tips and some of my opinions to help you decide which nation you should pick. But before I start, let me talk about the basics. First of all, the numbers you see when you attack the enemy are not simply damage to the HP as you might think when it comes to traditional RPGs, but actually it's the number of soldiers lost in the combat. So I guess that's quite a lot of people dying right here. 1 second in the skill description, it's one move in the battle report, as you can see right now. Now each turn consists of an attack, a counter-attack, and application of a skill, based on each hero. All the actions for every army is considered simultaneous, so everything is happening at the same time in real time. It's also very important to pay a lot of attention to the description of each and every skill, because sometimes there's some tiny little information that can make all the difference, like how, when or where you do damage to the enemy. And when you miss them, and when you do big mistakes, you get very frustrated and you feel like you wanna, give a high five to the developers with a keyboard in the face. And finally, the probability of triggering the skill in 10% is actually quite a lot. With such value, the skill will be used approximately 5 times in 80 moves. So this kind of buff, it's very important. Okay, now that we got the basics out of the way, let's finally talk about which nation you should pick. Every nation has its benefits, pros and cons. But in my personal opinion, the nation should be chosen based on your preference, your game style, and honestly, of the aesthetics of each hero. If you think some hero is cool, go with it. Well, that's my case, because I think Joan of Arc right here, it's pretty awesome. Okay, now let's talk about each and every nation. So if you are a little bit hot-headed, a little bit angry, and you enjoy a little bit of violence, you just want to watch some villages burn, I think Rome is the perfect nation for you. Scipio Africanus is the best starting commander, since he can minimize losses to infantry with his bonus of protection of 5%. Not to mention the 5% boost on speed. Now Germany is the best option for fans of hunting and mining, thanks to the 5% bonus for cavalry attack, plus 5% of the speed of training troops. That will make up for the losses, which is pretty useful. But Hermann is a mediocre commander. Britain does not have strong narrow specifications, except that some players love Britain hero Wojcika, mostly for her 4th skill that increases damage while reducing the chance of triggering. France is a good pick for fans of the classic tanks in MMORPGs. Take Joan of Arc with 11-inch Protect, Gifford, Tomo Egozen as a 2nd commander and get to 45.5% of ignoring damage. And now you're pretty much set. No one is gonna take you down. And also don't forget about the low cost of that bundle. Okay, now Spain perhaps is the nation with one of the most hidden potential, which may not actually exist. Protection of cavalry plus Pelayo with bonuses to cavalry, and you already start thinking that's a good option for hunting for miners. Nope, because there's no bonuses to speed. But Pelayo is not a bad defensive commander, with 300 damage over 3 turns. China is the perfect option for peaceful players, with focus in defense when it comes to battle. Sun Tzu, with his high AoE damage, is a very good option, suitable for the majority of gamers which play without actually spending money in the game. and a great option for a second line in corporations. And also it's very important not to forget the 2% protection of troops, which will reduce losses, and 2% to speed of construction, with at the high levels return into hours and even days of reducing time. Japan, in my opinion, it's not much of interest, even though there are some pretty cool samurai, so that's a tough choice. Let's start with the positive. 2% bonus to attacking troops is sweet. Kusunoko Masashiji. Well, I probably completely butchered the name. Anyway, it's good in the field and in defense against the crowd. Unfortunately, that's where the good part ends. 30% of speed in scouting, it's not a considerable bonus. 5% bonus to army training doesn't actually reduce time. Instead, just give a small increase of the limit. For example, if you train 1,000 soldiers in the barracks, you only get 50 additional units. But if you think I'm wrong and you see some potential or some strategy for Japan, let me know in the comments below. Korea perhaps received one of the most successful combinations of bonuses. Euji Mundeok with buffs to his army and the buffs for the enemy, the expansion of the hospital by 10% and the protection by 5%. All this comes together to give very tangible bonuses. Yes, research speed is only 2%, but with each subsequent study it will become more and more useful. So I really recommend Korea for any gamer who is planning to play very actively. But that's it, let me know which nation do you prefer and why. So if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. And don't forget to check Rise of Civilization on BlueStacks. The link for it is in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching, bye bye!